big motorcycle fans out there, the winter months may be hard because you can't take your bike out for those long summer drives, but there may be another way that you can get your fix. News Center 16's Christine Karsten joins us live now from the Studebaker National Museum. So Christine, this new exhibit must have something to do with motorcycles, right?
It does, Trisha. How did you guess? Is it because I'm surrounded by more than 25 of them? It's all for this new exhibit, as you mentioned, called American Motorcycle, The Ride Goes On. As I mentioned, more than 25 that you can look at around here if you come on out. The earliest right here. Take a look, 1910 Yale single. So if you come on out, you're going to see it as early as that. How cool. It really does look like a bike with a motor. Andy Beckman's here with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Christine.
So first, let's talk about this. You guys had an exhibit similar to this about 5 or so years ago, you said?
Yeah, we focused on Harley-Davidson, easily America's iconic motorcycle brand. And we had such a tremendous response to that, we said, we got to do this again. So now we've done it, and now we're including other American motorcycles in addition to Harleys.
I love it. Let's start with what we're looking at over here. You said these are kind of the earliest motorcycles that you have here.
Yeah, in fact, our earliest comes from a gentleman in Ohio. It's a 1910 Yale single. Actually, these were made in Toledo, Ohio, and a single indicates it's a single cylinder. And yeah, it pretty much looks like a bicycle with with a motor and a gas tank and a light hung off the front.
It's kind of crazy to see how these have changed over the years. What are some other ones that we're looking at over here?
Well, if you look at the Indian, we start to see really the more traditional, what you envision an old motorcycle looking like. You've got the skirted fenders, which was an Indian trademark, and for a long time after 1930, it was just Harley and Indian, and Indian would actually disappear in the early 1950s, leaving just Harley.
How cool. When I look at these, I think of, for some reason, Indiana Jones, because I always see, in his movies, he was on these motorcycles that looked kind of similar to that. So it kind of takes you back into those films, or maybe even a family member had one of these.
Well, it's interesting just to hear the stories attached to that. That's literally the barn find, or this relative had one, and then it turns out to be something tremendous. And these are just wonderful examples of America's early motorcycles.
Absolutely wonderful gems. So if you have one, keep it. It's going to be worth a lot, or bring it out so we can all enjoy it too. Tricia, so we showed you the earlier ones, but coming up we're going to show you kind of the newer models. You're going to want to stay with us.
Gorgeous motorcycles there on display. Okay, we're going to check back in. Thank you so much, Christine Karsten, reporting live from the museum this morning.